Hi guys, Thomas Montén coming out of Sweden, working with the Swedish under-20 national team, and I'm going to talk a little bit about our preparations, how we work during a season and try to prepare for the World Juniors. A couple of things I wanna go through with this. Is just an introduction of myself. I'm going to talk a little bit about the schedule and the planning, how we think and how we try to prepare, what we do before we get together with the national team, what we try to do during our camps or tournaments, whatever we have. And I'm going to touch a little about feedback and how we try to work with that, and how we look at feedback and a thing that we feel that we can really work with the players and really get them to develop. Just a short thing about myself. I've been working for 4 years full time as the under-20 head coach for the Swedish national team, and I know it's a little bit different, and I know European national teams have full-time coaches. I know in US and Canada, it's usually they use different coaches. They bring some guy from college or some junior coaches, and they get to pick their team and go play the World Juniors. But here in Europe, it's pretty common that you have the full-time coaches running the under-20s and men's World Juniors teams. So it's just my experience. I had 6 World Juniors. I had 2 as an assistant coach before I got hired at the federation, and this last 4 years I've been the head coach for 4 World Juniors. I also had 3 world championships with the men's team as an assistant coach, helping out with some scouting and helping out with working the headset on the games from up high, and just trying to work with that coaching staff during the World Championship. I also worked in Sweden in the SHL. SHL is that's a pro league. That's the highest men's league in Sweden. Been working both as an assistant coach and as a head coach, and also working. It says Sweden National, and that's the name of the junior league. So it's a big junior league that run over the whole country, and been working in that junior league as well as a head coach. So just a schedule and preparations for us. This is actually the program that we had last year before coming into the World Juniors in Czech Republic around Christmas. So we start off in February every year. So it's usually this year we had a group of 2,000 born players that came into. We went to Finland in February, and almost all the players, I should say, they play in Sweden. We have some players coming from North America. A couple of guys play in the NHL, play in the American League. A couple of guys play junior college. But those guys usually just come to the World Championships. So during the other tournaments, we use players from Sweden, and we have them in different places. Some players play in the SHL, the highest men's league. Some players play in Allsvenskan, and that's the tier 2 men's league. Also a professional league, but it's not as good as the SHL. It's just beneath it. And a lot of players come from different junior teams, and I mean everything is a little bit different how it's built. I mean, a player from Gothenburg, for example, that starts off in Frölunda as a 6-year-old, he can play until he's 36 in the same club, because almost all the teams, the SHL teams, they have like you play in the youth teams, and then you play under 18, you play under 20, and it's still under the same roof. It's still under the same jersey. It's in the same club. So we follow these players along during the way, and we keep pretty good track of them, because they usually stay inside their organizations. So we pick 4 different teams during the season. We have the tournament in February. We have our most important tournament and camp. We go to Plymouth, Michigan every year to have a pretty long. We have a week camp, and then we play 2 exhibition games against USA White and USA Blue. And then we have Finland and Canada joining, so we play a tournament with those 4 teams. And it's a little bit funny thing, but a lot of World Juniors are held in North America. I mean, last 2 years ago we were in Vancouver and Victoria, and the year before we were in Buffalo. But there is actually no rink in Sweden that has the same size as the NHL rink. So this summer tournament in Plymouth is the most important for us because it's the only time, except for the World Juniors, if it's held in North America, that we can go and practice and stay on the smaller ice surface. So it's that's a huge thing for us, just coming there and trying to spend 2 weeks and just trying to adapt and see what's working on the smaller rink, because we don't have that possibility at home. We played two tournaments just before the World Juniors, one in August and one in November, and that's it says Russia here in Finland, and so this year it's going to be Czech Republic and Sweden. So it's always those 4 teams, the 4 big ones, that have the tournaments in August and November. So it's we always rotate on those 4 countries, and then we get to the World Juniors. Before every time we get together, if it's a camp or if it's a tournament, we have this thing. So I'm going to show you 4 different slides. I'm just going to click through it. But this is our playbook, and because we have the time we have together, it's so short. I know a lot of you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. So we just have a couple of practices. We want to use the time as good as we can. So before every time we get together, we send out, I'm going to just go through 4 different slides. It's just different things from our playbook: playing with the puck and crease, a couple of things playing without the puck, and it can be a drawing. This is a movement that we used before for our defense D-man, how we want them to move and do a cycle in the offensive zone. So we have around 50 video clips, and it's all attached to a document that our video coach sends to all the players that are picked for the team. So it's an interactive page. So it's a time lock, so they can access it from when they get it and until we get together, and then we close it down. So it's 50 clips, and it's with different instructions and things like that. So just we feel it's a good thing for the players to be able to see a couple of things that they're going to work with when they get to the national team. And what we do when we get together, we actually had a camp here in August, so the first one for this season, and we got together and we had 3 days of practices. So we had four ice sessions, and then we had 2 games with another 2 ice sessions. So it was total of 6 practices and 2 games. So we always try to use the different theme for every practice. So just we pick a theme, and this is actually a picture from last year in Plymouth in the summer camp. So just before every practice, we go through the same video from our playbook as they've seen before. So we pick and we try to build our practices out of these kind of situations. Okay, what do we want to work with today? Is it breakouts? Is it regroup? Is it a forecheck? Is it a D-zone coverage? Whatever. So for every practice, we just try to pick different themes, and we go through it before the practice. We show the playbook clip, and then we go on the ice and we practice, and then we have our video coach film every practice, and he films and he tags the different themes that we were working with, and then we show it to the players, either as a team or as individuals, different depending on what kind of feedback we want to give. So this is how it looks. So I'm just going to give you 3 examples on how we work with this and how we try to set it up. So the left one, it's our breakout regroup entry clip from our playbook, and this is how it looks when the players get it. So it's just some text and some arrows, and just pause it and just try to give the players some more instruction. I know everything is in Swedish. I'm not skilled enough to change the text in the video clips. So it's an entry, and we want the puck carrier to like use the situation and adapt on what we can do. And this last one is just we want to attack, and we want to try to attack to get to the inside and try to attack to score. And then we go to practice and we just try to implement these things, and we film it, and then we use this as feedback. So this is just coming back. We just have a forward line, just break out, regroup from the neutral zone. And then we have a back checker that comes back, and we just go on a full 5-on-5. And this is one thing that we really like. The blue defenseman just breaks up the play, and as soon as that happens, we have a blue forward that just takes off and stretches. And that's a key thing that we want to feedback on after this one. Just we want to try to play fast, and we want our forwards, as soon as our Ds get the puck, and as soon as they get control over the puck, we want the forward to take off, to stretch off, to skate off, so we can go on the attack. And that's a typical thing that we would feedback on after the practice. So another thing from the playbook, it's a track, sort out. I don't know, maybe use different names, but it's just what we want to happen if we lose the puck. Sometimes you give it up. Sometimes the opponents take the puck away. So just forward, put pressure straight away, try to win it back, and we have the F3 coming over. If the F3 can get above their forward, then it's a perfect match. And we have a little rule about if the forward can take the puck carrier before the red line, he should do that. Otherwise, he should leave it to the D. And then we just have a sort out coming back, just how we want to move. If the D pressures, we want the other D to fall in the middle, and then we have the winger coming back covering the weak side. And then same thing, we do it in a practice. Different. This setup is just an easy setup for the tracker to win the puck, and we just regroup from that. The other thing is we start a 3-on-2, so now it's really a forward coming back late. So the D makes the read and he directs the forward, and then we take the sort out from that. So we don't want to put them in like too easy situations or too hard situations. We start off in one of the other, and then we just want to see how the players can read and react off of it. We don't want to lock them too much or like tell them too much what to do. We feel that the players we have, they're skilled, but still they're young, so we always want them to play on instinct. So use their knowledge and try to play on instinct, and that's a thing that we want to see, is how they read and react off of the instructions we try to give them before the practice. So the last one is just face-offs, and same thing, the playbook face-off. We have a couple of ground rules. If we lose a face-off in the O-zone, we want to try to get into the forecheck straight away. So we want to clear F1, and F2 takes away the wall, and F3 covers the middle. If we win the O-zone face-off, we want the inside forward to bump a little bit, and we want the outside forward to get to the net. Doesn't matter which way he takes, just try to get to the net. And we try to shoot it, or we create a play with the D out of that inside forward. And this is how it could look in a practice. We just set two units out, and we just drop the puck, and we want them to read and react. Here, the blue line just straight away, they put pressure, seal the wall, and keep the puck. The yellow line wins the puck. We have a bad movement on the D, but the inside forward blocks a little bit, bumps a little bit, and the outside forward get to the net. So just how we try to work with this, and just, as I said, short amount of time, and just we don't want to give them too much information. We just want to give them a little bit of information, and then we want to try to see what they can use when they get to the ice. And after that, we sit down, the video coach and the three assistant coaches I have, and we just try to sort out and talk through what we feel. We usually say that if it's a team thing, if it involves like two players, so two players, that this guy needs to do this a little bit differently, and this guy needs to do this a little bit more or better, we usually feedback on it in front of the whole team. I mean, always. I mean, if it's things that's really important, or things that we need to change, of course, we always use the whole team for the feedback. But we also try to do the one-on-one talk. So the individual development, and that's the personal feedback to one player. And we have our video coach try to find things on all players, not every day, but during a camp, or like a 4-day or 6-day camp or tournament. He tries to pinpoint every guy a couple of times, and just try to give them some pointers, because all the players, they're curious, but they're also a little bit, they don't really know what to expect, and they don't really know what we want to see and what we think. So I think every time they get that talk, and every time they get their attention, I think it's a really good thing. So we try to use it both. So we use the videos from the practice, as I said, both as a team thing, but also in the individual part, and try to find things on every player. And I think that the most important thing for us, and a thing that we really like and really want to work with, and that's the thing, that the positive feedback reduces the time that you otherwise need to use to correct the player. And this is really something we think a lot about, and we try to use in all our national teams, from the U16 and up to the men's team. And that's what the science tells us. So players that get positive feedback, they, without thinking about it, the brain tells them, okay, I want to have that again. It's a good experience, and they want the attention, and everyone likes when the coach tells you that you did something good. So I think if we can find that, and we can work with it, I think we can make that player better, but I think we can make the players around him better. Of course, we can't make things up, so we always work really hard, our coaching staff and the video coach. So every time we see a player that does a thing that we like, every time we see a player who does something correct, or does something according to our playbook and things like that, we always try to feedback it straight away. Doesn't matter if it's just a talk on the ice. If we don't see it straight away and we see it on video, we got to give it back as soon as possible, because every time that they get a positive feedback, the brain tells them that, okay, I want to have this again, So I want to do it more and more and more. And we feel that if we work with the positive things, we will have players doing more and more of that. I'm not saying that you shouldn't comment on the bad stuff. Of course, we got to talk to the players. If they don't do right, we got to correct them. We got to show them. But we feel that just the typical stuff. If you have a player that gives the puck up, he gives the puck up on the blue line or offensive blue line or whatever, and you feedback on that. You tell him you can't give the puck up next time, and he gives the puck up again, and you're there the next time. I think that kind of player, he will only act. He will only play so he doesn't get the negative feedback. So I think you get players that throw the puck away, they chip it out because they're afraid of trying to make a play with the puck, because they know if they mess it up or give it away, they're gonna get the negative feedback. And I think if you give them too much negative feedback, they're only gonna behave so they don't get yelled at. I don't know if you get my translation, but as I said, both positive and negative, but we feel that the more positives we can use, the better, of course, it is. But just every time we see things that's according to how we want to play, that's a really good thing, because if we feedback on that, we think that we will get more and more out of it. Hope you guys understood my English and got my pronunciations correctly and everything like that, and just hope that you got something out of it, and just maybe a couple of pointers that you can use and take with you. And just thanks for listening, and hope everybody stays safe, and hope everyone gets back to the rink eventually.